It's an unlikely subject for a heated debate, but the brinjal, also known as eggplant or aubergine, has become a political hot potato in India, so much so that a widely anticipated decision by the Indian government on introducing a genetically modified version of the crop was preempted by a day. But for organic farmers like Ramesh Dagar, the controversy was more personal than political.
We are very small farmers, and as you can see, we can actually germinate our own seeds right now. But with this new variety, we won't be able to do so, and the farmers will be dependent on multinational companies supplying these seeds. It's a huge conspiracy by the corporates, and the biggest victims will be us farmers from developing nations.
India produces 8 million tons of brinjal a year, but traditional methods of cultivation mean that much of this gets wasted. Bacillus thuringiensis brinjal, or BT brinjal, has been genetically modified. It is claimed to be resistant to pest infestations. Its manufacturer also says it will boost production. Opponents fear that if BT brinjal is introduced, it could have a devastating effect not only on the native brinjal, but on local economies. The impact of this decision is going to be felt most here in India's rural heartland. The GM experiment in this country can best be described as a mixed bag. While farmers in some parts of the country have prospered, many others haven't been so lucky. The failure of genetically modified cotton in southern and western India is often cited as proof that GM crops don't work here. Monsanto, the American multinational seed giant that introduced the cotton and is now marketing BT brinjal, was blamed by many cotton growers for squeezing them out. Many couldn't afford to invest in GM seeds, and several took their own lives as a result.
This is not a solution.
With BT brinjal, say activists, the stakes are much higher and much more dangerous.
And the tragedy we've seen with the BT cotton will be intensified in BT eggplant, but even more seriously, once they get the eggplant through, they will then have freedom to launch the okra, the rice, everything else is hanging on the BT brinjal.
India's Minister for the Environment, Jairam Ramesh's decision to buy more time has been prompted by widespread public anger. Angry scenes at several public forums apparently influenced his decision.
When there is so much opposition from the state governments, and eminent scientists have raised many serious questions that have not been answered satisfactorily. When the public sentiment is negative, it is my duty to adopt a precautionary principle-based approach.
If and when BT brinjal is introduced in India, the decision will have a direct effect on more than half of the country's 1 billion population, and the country's traditional way of agriculture may change forever. Prerna Suri, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.